Someone sent us a question this week based on Sunday's sermon, and we're just going to go and look at the question and see if we can answer it. So, question was, what's the difference with offense and righteous anger? When having the heart of God, could things offend us? Perhaps the sin could be in acting upon that offense, but what does acting on righteous anger look like? There's a few things there, and let's just quickly look through a bit of it. So what's the difference with offense and righteous anger? There's two things there. Offense, I would say, something that has happened to me, something that I take on personally, something that involves my feelings, and it impacts me. So it's a lot of it is self. It's like this selfish thing, maybe, like, I'm offended because someone said this to me about me, hurt me or my family. So it's centered on me. Where righteous anger is more of the actual act itself. So, it's not that's happened to me, but it's something that is happening around the world to people. And righteous anger is having a stand against that very thing, but it's not personal. It's not something that's, I'm upset with the person, but rather the thing. Because we do know that, we don't fight against flesh and blood, but we fight against, the spirits of the world. And so I'm not actually upset at the person. But let's dive into that and what it looks like. So having a heart of God, offending us, and acting on it. Okay, so let's take bullying, for example. I was bullied all through high school, and because of that, I actually bullied people. And so if I was upset against the bully himself, it's because I haven't learned to forgive and let go. And so every time I hear about this person or see them, something in me, heats up, and I get all upset and emotional and angry because of him. So if he does well in life, then I get upset and anger. And so it's not a righteous anger, it's still about me and the issue I've got with that person. So learning to forgive, let go, and release means that when that person's blessed, I'm not upset about it, and that's okay, But I'm still upset with the concept of bullying, and it's not right, and people shouldn't be bullied. And so what I believe is that we can act on that as a righteous anger by helping victims, helping people before they even get bullied, helping them understand who they are in Christ, helping build their self-esteem, their confidence, but at the same time helping those who are bullies themselves. So rather than attacking the bullies, maybe helping them, understanding where they're at, what their home life looks like, how are they being brought up, and maybe speaking into their world. And I think being an advocate for bullying and non-bullying is a great way for us to be involved in speaking up and helping people. But I'm not offended by the bully. I'm actually wanting to see people rise up and be the best version of God, who God has called them to be. So I think we can do both. I think we can have an offense that's not personal, but I'm offended by this issue because it affects people itself. So whether it is whatever it is, I think we need to make sure that the two differences are personal offense and offense against people themselves. And if you can eliminate the two and take yourself out of it, then you can stand up for righteousness. Leon also mentioned that we should want to be offended, and because it enables us to grow. And people might hear that and go, what does that mean? Because the Bible speaks a lot about not getting offended. I think where we're going with this, where Leon was heading down, is the fact that maturity grows. We grow maturity when we are roughed up and when we go through storms. And so the ability to get offended should enable us to go after God's heart and go, how do I deal with this offense correctly? So then when other offenses come, I can handle it better, and even then help others who are offended. If you've never dealt with offense before, then you don't know how to grow through that offense when it comes. But if you've dealt with offense correctly multiple times, it makes it easier to love people through that offense. So if someone doesn't call me, if someone ignores me, if someone treats me bad, and I'm able to go to God to deal with that offense, to continue to love that person, the more I do that, the more I grow in my maturity in Christ and realize that it's no longer I who lives, but Christ who lives in me anyway. And that person is a broken person who needs love, who needs forgiveness, just the way I need love and I need forgiveness. I think the more we do that, I think the more we become more like Christ anyway.